Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, put that phone down and grab your wine because I am about to spill the most vintage, high-quality tea from my childhood. You know how my parents are, right? You've met them. Sweetest people on earth, salt of the earth, would give you the shirt off their backs. Okay, well, you also know they are deeply religious. Like, Harry Potter is witchcraft and Pokémon are tiny demons levels of religious. So keep that context locked in your brain, because what I'm about to tell you involves Grand Theft Auto, a Pizza Hut, and my father accidentally punching a stripper while weeping to Jesus. No, I am not making this up. I literally cannot make this up. So, rewind the clock. We are talking back in the day, the golden era of the PlayStation 2. My brothers and I were living under a regime of strict spiritual censorship, which naturally meant we were obsessed with everything forbidden. Somehow, and to this day, it remains our greatest covert operation. We managed to smuggle a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas into the house. Girl, this disc was like plutonium. If Mom had found it, she would have engaged in spiritual warfare right there in the living room. We were terrified but addicted. We spent days holed up in the basement. It was the perfect crime. The basement was our domain. Parents rarely came down there unless they had to do laundry or grab a can of peaches. It was damp, it smelled like unfinished drywall and teenage angst, and it was paradise. Now here is where the stupidity begins. We were broke in the game. Like CJ had zero drip, no weapons, nothing. And because my parents had the dial-up internet password under lock and key, literally, they treated the modem like the nuclear football. We couldn't just hop on Cheat Code Central and print out the infinite money codes. We had to earn our GTA dollars the hard way. We discovered this glitch, well, not a glitch, more like an exploit. If you drove CJ to the strip club and just stood on the stage, you could absorb the cash that the NPCs were throwing at the dancers. We called it the harvest. We would just park CJ up there next to the pole, put the controller down, and let the game run for 20 minutes while we did other stuff. Passive income, honey. We were budding capitalists. The only problem, it was volatile. Sometimes a stripper would do a little spin move, bump into CJ, get offended, and then the bouncers would pull out pistols and turn the club into the OK Corral. So it was high risk, high reward. So set the scene, it's a Saturday. We are deep in the trenches of San Andreas. We are farming cash. Suddenly the voice of God, aka my mother, bellows down the stairs. Boys, get dressed. We are going to Pizza Hut. Now, in our house, Pizza Hut was a luxury. We are talking the full buffet, the salad bar with those little bacon bits, the red plastic cups, the works. We weren't going to say no, but we were greedy. We looked at the TV. CJ was standing there, money raining down on him. We didn't want to stop the cash flow. In what I thought was a stroke of pure Einstein-level genius, I said, let's just turn the TV off. The plan was simple. Leave the PS2 running. Leave the game on. Leave CJ at the club. Turn off the television set so the screen is black. Go to Pizza Hut, eat our body weight in breadsticks, come back, turn the TV on, and boom, we'd be millionaires. It was supposed to be the heist of the century. We ran upstairs, looking innocent, and piled into the minivan. Off we went to the hut. But here is the variable we did not account for, my father. My dad was not with us. He was at church. He was practicing for this massive gospel concert he was singing in. He took this very seriously. He would set up a camcorder on a tripod, film the choir practice, and then come home to watch the tape and critique his performance. He was like an NFL coach, but for Jesus. While we are at Pizza Hut, stuffing our faces with pepperoni, my dad arrives home early. He has his little tape. He wants to study the film. Now remember technology back then. We had one VCR, just one. And where was it hooked up? The basement TV. Girl, are you connecting the dots? Because I am sweating just retelling this. So we are at the restaurant. I'm probably dipping a breadstick in marinara sauce, living my best life. Suddenly, Mom's Nokia brick phone rings. She answers it. Hello. Silence. She puts her napkin down. She slowly looks around the table at me and my brothers, her eyes, cold, dead. She says into the phone, ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. You know that tone that says, I don't know exactly what you did, but I know it's bad and I know you're going to suffer. It was calculating, it was specific. My stomach dropped out of my butt. I looked at my brothers, they looked at me. The breadsticks suddenly tasted like ash. We knew we were in trouble, but we didn't know why. Had they found a report card? Did someone break a window? We had no clue. The ride home was silent. You could hear a pin drop in that minivan. The air was thick with impending doom. We pull into the driveway. Mom puts the car in park, turns around, and says with this terrifying calmness, "Boys, why don't we go down to the basement? Your father wants to show you his gospel practice." My heart stopped. My soul left my body. At that exact moment, the realization hit me like a freight train. The PlayStation. We dragged our feet to the basement door. It felt like walking to the gallows. We go down the stairs, one by one, and there he is. My dad is sitting on the beat-up basement couch. The TV is on, but he isn't watching his gospel choir. On the screen, in all its jagged, low-polygon glory, is the interior of the GTA strip club. En Vogue's "My Lovin' You're Never Gonna Get It" is blasting through the speakers. You know, doot, 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 doot. And on the screen, a pixelated woman with breasts shaped like pyramids is swinging stiffly back and forth. And there is CJ, standing inches away from her face, just staring. My dad is sitting there, holding the DualShock controller in his hand, just staring at the screen. The disappointment radiating off him was radioactive. He turns to us. He doesn't yell. He goes for the "I'm not mad, I'm just hurt" voice, which is infinitely worse. "Boys," he starts, his voice trembling with righteous indignation. "I don't even know where to begin. This PlayStation was a blessing. We bought this for you for Christmas as a blessing." He stands up, waving the controller around. "And this is how you repay us, by bringing this filth into our home, by breaking our trust. Here I am, coming home to practice bringing glory to God, and instead I find this." He's really getting into the sermon now. He's gesturing wildly. He's emotional. And in the heat of his passion, in the middle of his monologue about sanctity and trust, his hand tightens around the controller. He accidentally hits the circle button. Now, if you played San Andreas, you know what circle does. Circle is attack. On the screen, as my dad is talking about Jesus, CJ winds up and absolutely clocks the stripper. Just a haymaker to the face. POW. The room goes silent. My dad freezes, we freeze. But the game does not freeze, the game reacts. Because he punched a stripper, the AI bouncers instantly turn hostile. Suddenly the screen erupts in gunfire. Tat, 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 tat. Screaming, chaos. The strippers are running. The bouncers are unloading clips into CJ. My dad is just standing there, holding the controller, watching this massacre unfold that he technically initiated. It felt like it lasted for an hour. Just the sound of En Vogue remixing with machine gun fire. Finally, CJ dies. The screen goes gray. Wasted. He respawns in front of the hospital. Silence descends on the basement again. I dare to look over at my mother. Girl, she is standing by the stairs, hand over her mouth, silently weeping. She is crying like she just watched us commit a felony in real life. She is mourning our souls. Then I look at my dad, and this is the image that is burned into my retina forever. A single, perfect tear rolls down his cheek. He closes his eyes, and I hear him under his breath whisper, "Lord, forgive me, forgive us." He literally asked God for forgiveness for virtual assault. After what feels like an eternity of trauma-filled silence, nobody says a word. My dad slowly bends down. He unplugs the PlayStation. He wraps the cord around it. He stands up, walks over to the family computer, unplugs that too, just for good measure, I guess. Collateral damage. He walks past us, carries the electronics out to his car, and drives away. He took them to his office at work. He locked them in a filing cabinet. We didn't see a video game or a computer screen for 4 months. 4 months of darkness, honey. We were living like the Amish. Looking back on it now, it is literally one of my favorite memories. I miss my brothers so much. Oh my God, don't look at me like that. They aren't dead. They just live across the country. But we were inseparable back then. And look, I know people on the internet always try to say my parents were crazy or abusive. They weren't. Stop it. They were just dramatic. They were loving, involved parents who were trying so hard to raise us right, and they just panicked when they saw 3D strippers. It came from a place of love, even if it was totally unhinged. I'm a total atheist now, obviously, and my parents know it, but we get along great. We can laugh about it now. But I swear to you, every time I hear En Vogue on the radio, I don't think of the 90s. I think of my dad, a gospel singer, accidentally punching a digital woman and begging Jesus to cleanse the room. Top that. You can't. Pour me another glass.